Let me ask you this. Why is it that we invest in kids every week? Why is it that in your worship program you see a list of who's serving, and even this morning, and you can see how critical this is, nobody signed up, which is okay. It's just because it's summertime, and like I said, for a moment I thought, okay, I've not been here over the summertime, so maybe since it's May 31st and the first of summer, maybe we do things a little different, which is okay. But I want to challenge us that I think God wants us to be engaged in a way that may make us uncomfortable because somebody needs to show up. And it may not be you, but it may be the person sitting next to you. But there's a belief that I want us to understand this morning as I walk through this. It's a simple concept. And it's actually, as I unpack it for you, you're going to probably say, oh, yeah, I know that. I know that. In fact, I believe that. But I want to challenge us as a church to really think through, what does that look like? Because, you see, this one belief can change how anybody sees a child or a teenager. This one belief will radically change the way a teenager or a preschooler sees themselves, or students in between, a child in between, a kid in between, as well as those of us that are adults get the opportunity to invest in them, both in terms of your time and your talent and your resources. So here's the one belief. It's real simple. Every kid is made in the image of God. And most of you say, duh, you're right. But I want us to be reminded what that means as we think about our ministry in the community. Our ministry for some of us is the Wall Center. For example, downtown at the Salvation Army. I mean, woo-hoo, Libby signed up. She's going to be a volunteer. Because you see, we need that kind of affirmation. We need that kind of equipping. So, and I know that the idea of this is not really breaking news to you, but I want us to remember that every child around us, every kid around us, every child has the stamp of God's image printed on their lives for divine capacity. That means that they have the capacity to reason, to improve, to lead, to care, to relate, to trust, to believe, to imagine, even to love. So for us as a church, we get a chance to leverage that. And I think you guys get that. I think we as Linden Road, I think you get that. I think the fact that some things aren't clear right now, for example, what's the purpose of 908? Call me. You've made an incredible investment in that. But I can tell you that space has the potential for this community to take on a very unique place for the kingdom, because in hearing this, it's not a church building. It's a safe place, because some people really struggle with the idea of what church is. I know that we want people in our ordered lives, especially those of us that have grown up in the traditional church, the mainline denominations. I mean, I grew up Methodist, has now been adopted into the Presbyterian understanding. And so in that, we want order. And yet, if we look at the world around us, so that's probably why I wanted to have this conversation. I had this conversation with a few of the teachers and folks that volunteer in our children's ministry and our student ministry. But I want us as a church to really wrap it around, because it may not mean that you're being called to sit with a team, but it may mean that we need your investment financially to continue to be faithful in the life of the church with your tithes and your offering, to allow others to do what the kingdom will accomplish. I mean, think about this. I mean, every 3-year-old can tell you every word of every song in the movie Frozen, right? Right? I mean, how about this? A first grader can build a Star Destroyer out of Legos, you know? A third grader can spell, I can't even say it, the word interlocutory at a spelling bee, or this crazy bee they had this last week. I couldn't even say the words that these kids were able to complete. And the 7th graders, any of you that have trouble with your technology, just give it to a 7th grader and they'll have it figured out. So if your iPad isn't hooking up to our Wi-Fi, it's not a problem. Just give it to Mason. He'll have you on in 60 seconds. or agree. I mean, it's not a problem. Because why? Why is it that this is a critical thing for us? Because every child is made in the image of God, and God has given them a certain view of the world that's powerful. And so we get to help formulate that. So here's the question. What would happen if each of us would start consciously treating every child who agrees like they were created in the image of God? How would that affect the way we see life? I know we do that, but I'm talking about even being more intentional with it. Because as we go forward, as we think about, I mean, one of the reasons why children matter in the life of the church is because if we don't have children in the church, then that means we just need to decide as adults who's closing the door and turning the lights as we leave. Because we need the strength that a child brings. Now, I know they frustrate us. And I wish Doug was here because I think Doug Milestone gave a great example. I mean, he risked to go to this crazy Dare to Share conference and got a chance to go to his first rock concert. And I know that stretched Doug. But that's okay, because that's what God calls us to do, is to be stretched, is to get out of our comfort zone, to, like Peter, get out of the boat and get wet. And I realize that that's a risk that we have to take. So let me say it this way. Every kid, whether they believe what we believe or not, whether they go to our church or not, whether they are Christians or not, we need to treat them as though they're created in the image of God. So what if you just decided, because you believe every kid is made in the image of God, that we're just going to teach every kid, that we're going to lead every kid to come in contact with, that we're going to influence every kid that matter to God because they're made in the image of God. Now, I know that seems like theology 101. It's like, we know this. But I want to suggest that sometimes we forget it, because even the disciples, it's interesting. And I didn't write the verses down because I want you to write them down, but there's two verses I want us to look to this morning, where Jesus, in the first verse, actually has to get a little firm, and he actually gets a little angry with the disciples. And he basically says this, and it's out of Matthew chapter 19, verse 14. He says this, "Let the little children come to me, and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these." Now, what does it mean? I mean, what does it mean that the kingdom of heaven belongs to the children? I mean, it's not that they need to grow up and be mature and be adults to understand the kingdom of heaven. Jesus is saying, no. If you want to understand the kingdom of heaven, you need to be like a child. Well, again, what does that mean? I'm not sure. It raises the bar, and in my mind, I'm still processing it, even at this point in my life. So what I want to suggest from this is that Jesus has a pretty high opinion about children. And there's another time Jesus says this. It comes out of Mark chapter 9, verse 37. He says, "Whoever welcomes one of these little children in my name welcomes me." Think about that. So in other words, I want you to treat kids like you would treat me. This messes with us a little bit. Because, see, if you walk through the halls of Mansfield Senior, even if you've been kind of hanging out with Ben for an afternoon, and I would welcome you to come do that just to check out the camp, kids don't work the way we think they ought to. But see, if we go back to this overarching understanding that every child is created in the image of God, then we have to wrestle through what does that mean. And I've got some things I want to show you that I think here in a moment that will help us understand, because it's complicated. So, I mean, think about this. Jesus was suggesting this, that no one should feel more welcome in Linden Road Church than a crying baby. No one should feel more welcome in Linden Road Presbyterian Church than a bratty kid. Okay? You follow track with me? No one should feel more welcome in Linden Road Presbyterian Church than a hormonally crazed middle schooler. Okay? And even this, no one should feel more welcome in Linden Road Presbyterian Church than a defiant teenager. Okay? And I know that stretches us because, again, we're expecting them to walk in the door and to sit down in the pews and fold their hands neatly and be engaged there. And I'm telling you, just look outside the walls of the building, wherever you go, it's complicated. go to the soccer field. Even go to graduation of the school this afternoon and just see. There's some civility there, but you know, the truth is, and I think you see this, even in culture right now where we find ourselves, there's a lot of incivility in the world. There's a lot of messiness, and part of it is because of the fact that we're just broken people. And I like to say this, it came from Christian Smith, who's a sociologist at the other day, who talks about how parents get what they are. Okay, so a parent wonders why the child is being a problem, is that they're a problem because it's an apple on a tree. Sorry, that sort of messes. You follow me? I mean, you tracking? Okay. At the same time, a church, I think, can be said that we get what we are. And I think that's the place where, looking at these scripture verses, I think we really need to wrestle through some things. Now, have you ever noticed how kids have an unusual curiosity and even an openness to learn about spiritual things? I mean, I think it's kind of cool last week, Betsy, how Abby talked about, and I'm sure there's got to be some moments, if you can think back, it's just like, is she getting it? You know, not you, but Abby. Is Abby understanding what I'm trying to, don't they know? And I know as teachers, we prep for the lesson, and we get ready, and we got our agenda, and we got our schedule, and then everybody's just being a knucklehead. It's like, wait a minute, I've got things I want to accomplish here. Or the other problem comes where it's frustrating because we've got our schedule, and then only half the people show up. And so, why it's important that when you think about it, when you think about this jar, when you think about the fact that there's 52 weeks in the year, when you think about the fact that you miss one of those Sundays, then you've missed an opportunity. So even what we're doing here in Big Church, what I want to call Big Church, what we do here matters. More than just simply a time to come and experience God, that's good. But what I feel charged with, as your call to me to be your lead pastor, is to help equip you to understand that there's a kingdom that God is inviting you into, a story that He's inviting you into, and that it can't be about me. I mean, the school will let me walk through the halls because I'm a pastor. But I can't get it done because there's only so many hours in the day, and even I get tired. Even with a 8-shot espresso from Starbucks. But you know, there's only so much, and so that's why it's really important that all of us together lean into this. You know, and it's interesting when we talk about children or kids, they don't seem to mind talking about God. And what's really interesting, at least the younger ones, the high schoolers, the middle schoolers, they wrestle with this. But the kids seem they don't have a problem talking to God. So, I mean, it's interesting whenever we get together, as we have the last few months for Sunday evening, it's like, okay, who's going to pray? You know, to bless the food. And it's always like looking around the room, but even adults do that. But there's something about a child that's like, I think it's because God's wired kids to imagine the world, and that's why we need them in our lives, to believe and to trust from the time they were born. So when kids begin to understand that they are made in the image of God, and that's our responsibility, then I want to argue that they will actually see the world and they will see themselves in a different way. And it will help them in all the choices that they make. It will help them in understanding issues about the permanence of technology, how they relate to their parents, how they care about other people, and how they trust God. So don't let anyone sort of walk away from this issue this morning. I want to make sure that we understand that our theology really calls us to welcome the child, like we welcome Jesus. Now, let me ask you a few more questions. So this one belief should be the answer to all these questions. So the first question is this: why should Linden Road make families outside of our church a priority? Why? Because every kid, even those whose parents don't come to our church, are made in the image of God. Or how about this one? This is not a stretch. Why should you spend money to fight poverty and sex trafficking? In other words, particularly there's some organizations, Bright Hope and Compassion, there's Presbyterian Missions that actually invest in helping children in a country who we'll never probably meet, because every child, even those who don't live in our country, are made in the image of God. How about this? Why should we partner with the public schools? Because every kid, even those who aren't homeschooled, who don't go to Christian schools, are made in the image of God. Or how about this? Why should you help kids grow emotionally, relationally, morally? Because every kid, even those who don't believe what we believe, are made in the image of God. And why should you help every parent become a better parent? Because every parent, even those who are not Christians, are made in the image of God. Now, it's kind of interesting because, and I've seen this, there are some parents who are not Christians who have the capacity to love their children just as well as I love mine. But it's interesting because they don't really do it out of consistency, but at the same time, they do it because they've been created by a Heavenly Father. And even though they don't embrace it, it's still in their DNA to offer that, to be a good parent. So in this one simple belief that we can change how, if we wrap our minds around it, we can actually change how we see every kid and how every kid sees God. And when that happens, when every child, when we treat every child, every kid who breathes like they are created in the image of God, here's what happens. We are able to stir up in children something, and we get to catch the overflow of that because of their excitement. Because we stir up their ability to think and to create, to innovate. We stir up within them the idea that they can reflect God's character. We stir up in them that they have a capacity to love and to be loved. And more importantly, we actually, if we lean into this idea, we can actually help create a desire for them to believe in something larger than themselves. I mean, I've only known Libby since I've joined the staff here. But yet, just how I've seen you blossom and grow. And I'm going to think that maybe an airplane trip to Dilley, Texas probably leveraged that. And, you know, you had a place in that. And I really believe we have to trust God on how do we provide for that in an ongoing way, those kinds of opportunities. Not that you have to hop on an airplane and fly to Texas, because there's plenty of opportunities right here locally, but sometimes it takes us getting out of our context to see what it is that, that God desires for us. Okay, so third point. We don't anticipate what we don't anticipate, or what you don't anticipate. Here's what I mean by that. Because this is where it gets complicated, and this is why it matters. So I want you to look at some statistics this morning. In today's preschools in America, 4 out of 10 children are in a home without a father. Okay, now I know many of you can tell the story of where maybe that's part of your story, and you've leaned into that, but I'm telling you, that's a problem. And it's even a larger problem, the percentage is even, I mean, even if you follow the story of what's going on in Baltimore, I mean, you're aware that right now in Baltimore, the police are not responding to any calls. Are you aware of this? I mean, it's crazy. They're fearful. They're fearful because it's a mess, and it really is gang mentality. And it's partly because we're just a broken people. And in our urban centers like Chicago, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., New York City, there's just we need a revival. We need God's Spirit. We need churches and local communities in those areas to lean in and be the kingdom. This statistic. For elementary age girls, 2 out of 10 girls are sexually abused, statistically, in our elementary schools. I want you to think about that. That's crazy. And what does that set up then in terms of their healthy relationship with male teachers, or just it creates a whole mess culture. Or this for middle schoolers, so your 5th and 6th graders. That 1 out of 10 of them start cutting in high school because the pain of what they're experiencing is so great, the only thing they can figure out to do is to harm themselves. And this is probably the most disconcerting, is that today statistically that our kids become sexually active. 2% become sexually active by the time they're in 7th grade, 30% by the time they complete 9th grade, and by the time they complete 12th grade, 64%. Now, all that I can tell you, walking with students I've walked with, the ones that will trust me and will tell me that they've stepped over that line of intimacy, they will tell me that it's really not what they want. But the girls are looking for a place, and so they're willing to give themselves. And so they think they're going to be loved emotionally. And for the boys, they think that somehow their validation of men is like going to come from that. So what we do here matters. And that's really where I want to sit this morning. There's two things. I want us to think about, well, let me step back this way. First of all, I want us to understand that what we do here for kids is not important. And then I want to challenge you to think about what is your role and what has God called you to do. As we begin to ramp up because of our safe sanctuary policy, we decided just because of just the summer coming that we're not going to really put a lot of emphasis until Rally Day in September, that we want to launch a new understanding. So in order to do that, we're going to need some volunteers. We're going to need some folks to help to serve sort of as guards, to actually, and we're going to lean on some of our high school students to help us with the check-in, because the whole point is that we want to create a safe place that we know all the folks that are in that space, just like the school. If you try to go to any school today, you can't get in without being buzzed in. And we want to offer that same safe place where we can create a chance for God to foster spiritual growth. So there's two things that we can do specifically coming out of that. One is, and I mentioned this last week, just because of how we put the budget together, we need, above and beyond your regular tithe, we need some of you to think about investing in our students. And there's two opportunities. For the high school students, I've challenged them, instead of going back to camp one more time, that it's about time they grow up a little bit. And so I want to leverage in them an experience I know will be life-changing, just like their share was, in a different sort of way, where they will actually map out sort of how we, as teens in our church, will build a ministry to other teens, to other families, to be intentional with that. And so that's going to take some investment. And then the other part of that is something that we've done traditionally, and I'll ask Ben and Bradley to come up, like cohort in crime, I guess. Some of you may know Ben. Libby's like, I think that's smoking. But I just, let's see if I do this microphone. There it is. So would you welcome Ben first and say good morning to him?
Good morning.
Good morning. Ben is at Pleasant Outdoor Center, and if any of you are on Facebook, and you actually, that's like, he's playing with some interesting marketing where that picture's like going viral. We've got like 12,000 hits off of it. So I'm trying to just, because summer camp matters. So I just thought maybe you could share a little bit about the ministry of Peacock. I mean, I know Linden Road has been consistent in supporting that. But why is camp important?
I'll actually, sitting listening to Pastor Tom here throughout the morning, there's so many things running through my head, not only my personal experiences, but experiences in ministry. I've traveled a lot, both in the job, both in life. Literally up and down the East Coast, a little bit on the West Coast, and I visited a lot of churches in that time. And in that time, every single church that I've ever visited that was closing its doors, there was one consistent, and that was the lack of peace. And in some ways, our very culture, nationwide, we have this weird dichotomy where we have this elevation of the youth are incredibly important, but then somehow we also tell them, don't bug us. It's an interesting bipolarness to our culture. But why is camp important? A couple interesting facts about camp. Sunday school. They come to Sunday school every single Sunday throughout the year. We get them for 52 hours. It's one Sunday every week for about an hour. At camp, we'll get them for over 70. Not to devalue what you do at Sunday school whatsoever, but the value of that over 70 hours, the immersive environment. Our teachers at school don't have time to invest in our kids spiritually, even if they were allowed to. They don't have time, most of them, to invest in our kids in building their strength of character. I have a lot of school teachers that work for me, and they desperately want to, they just plain old don't have time. And so again, we've chosen to focus on two things. Number one, investing in kids spiritually. And number two, investing in kids and helping them build, learn, and grow in character. And there's nothing quite as powerful as walking into a place where there's a whole bunch of adults, college students especially, because for some reason, whatever, college students are the opinion and cool whether they are or not. And having a college student sit down with a child and be genuinely interested. To sit down with a student, with a camper, and that camper knows without question that they're loved. How do we do that? Well, we do that in the way that we teach. When we're teaching something like how to climb a rock wall, and we don't tell the kids this, so the kids 20 years, you know, this is subconscious. But it's not just about learning how to climb a wall. It's not learning about where to put your hands, where to put your feet, and hopefully I'll make it to the top. Because if that was all that was happening, to be perfectly honest, at camp, we'd get rid of it. What's actually happening there is relationship. Is somebody on the ground saying, let's learn something about perseverance. There's personal responsibility happening. When they slip and fall, guess what? It's nobody's fault except for they missed. But even more importantly, they're not blamed for the miss. They're encouraged to learn from the failure and to grow from it. They're taught about trust, because when you're up on a rock wall, guess what? There's a whole lot of trust going on there, because you're about 30 feet up, and there's only broken about the size of my cup, and one person on the ground holding you up. There's a lot of trust happening there. And in the end, that's all wrapped up into relationship. A child developing a relationship with an adult who's going to walk with them through life. The interesting thing about that is one of the greatest commandments that Christ gave us is go and make disciples. We go and make disciples by grabbing onto somebody's hand and walking through life with them. And the thing that I love about camp is that our kids expect it of us, right? I've got two children. When they look at Dad, they say, yeah, Dad loves me. Dad says I can do things. The people I see every day in my life, the teachers and Sunday school teachers, it's expected, right? It's supposed to happen. But when you come to camp, you run into a bunch of people and you don't know who they are. And all of a sudden they're saying the same things. That God loves you, that I love you. That we're investing in them and showing them that. I'm telling you, there's something there that's incredibly powerful. And that's why I've invested and dedicated my life to it. There's a lot of things I don't remember from my childhood. I hit my head once too many times when I was that kid. At age 10, I still remember my counselor's name. His name was Flynn. I still remember the extra measures that he took to get us going out and doing special things at camp. I still remember him digging into the book of Romans with us and talking about how because God loves us so much that we should be living our lives for Him. Because of the week at camp. And then the last thing is a little bit aside from camp. Pastor Tom didn't ask me to do this, but I'm just going to, so hang on. It was interesting. 2 years ago, I got to go back to my home church that I grew up in New York. And I kid you not, zero plan whatsoever. I called up and I said to the pastor, I said, hi, my name's Ben, I grew up in this church. I was wondering if I could have a moment during the evening service to go up front and just say thank you. And he talked to some of his deacons because, pastors are loath to give up their pulpits to people they have no clue who they are. they said, okay, so I showed up. Guess what was happening that Sunday? I walked into the very end of the meeting where they were a tiny little church that was struggling, that was trying to figure out if they were still going to do their youth ministry and how they were going to cut it out. And I had no idea that this meeting had just happened. I walked in front of and I kid you not, it's because of their investment in me and their dedication to that I ended up being who I am. That I ended up at a Christian camp in Ohio trying to reach more youth for Christ, trying to help them learn and grow. And I'm grateful that God arranged that. Because they're still doing the youth ministry. And guess what? They had to be deep to get it done. But they're still doing it. And so the tiny little church, like, this is my church I grew up in. Okay? The first 20 people in the door. But what you do is incredibly valuable. And as a camp, we're here to help you get it done. So, thank you.
We pray for him, and then we'll push through the rest of the morning. Jesus, I thank you for this place, the road, and the investment it's made. And I thank you for the heart of Ben and just the place that you called him to from. When we hired him as program director, he's now the director of the camp. I thank you for what you're working in his life and how that's being played out, and how cool it is, and it just makes me smile when a student says, I think that's the camp, I think that's smoking. It shows that what Ben just said is about relationship. And so I'm grateful for how this church over the many years has invested in that. And so just thank you. But I just pray even as Ben begins, they just celebrate intercamp, and as they begin a full-on summer, that you just be there. And that even this morning, as he shared with us, that we would be even more mindful of just praying for the camp and for the students that will be coming this afternoon, and for the week they'll push into, that you would show up, that you give rest when rest is needed, that you give energy for the staff when that's needed. But just thank you, Jesus, that you allow us to walk and hear stories of just how you continue to show up. And that we do understand that you value the child. So this morning we just give you that time and just give our ministry to each other, through the ministry to children for the kingdom. We just pray your blessing now. All God's people said, Amen. Thanks, man. This may seem a little odd, but the song I want us to sing is because here's what matters. And all the busyness, that we can't offer anything to anyone else unless our soul is well. I know we walked through this series earlier this year, as well as my soul. I was kind of excited. Matt Redman, who's one of my heroes, we've sang a couple of his songs. He's done a new rendition, so you'll recognize it, but the lyrics may be a little different to it as well with my soul. So I invite you to stand and sing with me.